You have come a long way, traveler. What is it that you seek?
Yes. Can I get a number 2 with a large fry and a Dr. Pepper, please?
What is it that you seek?
Yes. Can I get a number 2 with a large fry and a Dr. Pepper, please?
All right, Sky Masters. I got asked again today, something I get asked a lot, and it's pick your favorite photo. And I don't know, man, this is something that's gotten harder for me over the years. It's just gotten a lot harder for me. And I tell you what, this time it's gotten easier for me because I just, I got to think outside the box. I got to find a loophole, and that's what I do. I'm such a weasel. So we're going to talk about some of my favorite photos. And we're going to look through some of these things, and I'm going to show you how I got around this question. And yeah, so we got some cool stuff up here. I got we see some older build things here. I don't even know what that is in the top left corner. Let's zoom in a little bit on that. Some kind of an array gun. I see the Tesla nightclub build, part of the first the maze that we had, the robot guy. Little UFOs. We got the Eiffel Tower in there. We got the park that's in front of the tower. Some weird mushroom thing. Here's the fun house. Look, it was like going down memory lane here, guys. Tower. This is pretty cool. We got the teepee park that's in front of the tower, with the lights hanging out of the top right over here. House. Look, it was like going down memory lane here, just some duplicates here. Oh, look at this jumbled mess. This was like some weird labyrinth thing that I was trying to make at some point in time. The Gek Shack, that's made its debut here recently. Oh, they had a deep sea dive right there. The Isle of Telemon. I mean, how many builds have I done? I mean, I'm getting up there. I got to recount, man. It's got to be 3. I got to build for every day of the year. I can honestly say that with certainty, probably more. Okay, here's the clock tower from Back to the Future. Cool, cool, cool. We got the pirate ships. Just cool shots. Custom ships in there. Look at these big old sand. Oh, look at these. I love this picture right here. This was a cool time when the wires came. Super glitchy. All kinds of weird stuff was happening then. Deep sea dive right over there. That was super deep water. I remember that day. Chilling out with the black hole there. That's some wicked stuff right there. The first Interstellar build. I need to get it back to that status. That was the best looking one, and it was probably super easy. And I've been trying to nail that again, and I don't know what I did that first time to make it look so dang cool. I know I didn't do anything magical. It was something easy and lazy, I'm sure. Man, look at the rows. We've got the female form, the huge Borg box. Another city build, whatever the heck that is. I mean, some of the artwork you can't even give a name. It's just like, it's that thing with the lights that's like this, Cool custom ships and everything in here. This is just awesome, man. This is cool stuff. We're just going down memory lane. There's a whole bunch of photos. How do you pick one out of all these cool things? Bugs. I've got big spider builds. You guys have seen all this weird little light things. All this. This is when I crashed the ship. Huge Diplos. Oh, look at that photo. That's one of my favorite photos right there. I could probably pick that photo as honestly one of my favorites with the old pieces going through it. The hula hoop. I ended up putting that around myself. That build is cool right here. That was a cool build. What else we got in here, man? Yeah, we got the Death Star and the Enterprise chilling all in one. Kraken. So we got the Kraken builds down there. Cool stuff. We're just going to kind of spin around here and look at some things. So it's hard to pick one. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, like huge fish when I'm sitting inside of his mouth. There's a little Gek. This is kind of new. This was super huge. We're actually going to be putting these mods back on and going and having a good time while we can. It's already wins of updates and stuff. 4-leaf clovers, man. I got a new spot that's 4-leaf clover heaven. And we're going to check that out, getting tied up in the lights. Just so cool. So I can't pick any, just one photo. I mean, look at all these, the flower of life. I could go on forever through my 10,000 photos and just keep going and keep going and keep going. And there's always something there. So I just had to go, you know what? That's it, man. Let's just do a mosaic. And let's do the mind-blown mosaic of the 10,000 photos that I have. And that's what I got here in front of you here now. And we're just going to go, we see how like it we look to it. I can't post a photo of this because it's so high res that you just can't understand it. We've got to go into it and dig and microscopically go through this and check it out for you. So that's why I did the video like this, because I think it's cool as shit. You know? Anyway, man, I love you guys, man. Eat your peas. Call your mother. Tell somebody you love them. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Ooh, No Man's Sky? You like No Man's Sky? I like No Man's Sky. We both like No Man's Sky, and we have something in common already. I like odd things that nobody has done before, and I do odd things that nobody has done before in the realm of No Man's Sky. So you should maybe go check those things out. They're underneath. They've been buried so far, nobody knows about them. Go check out all these cool videos of mine, and then smash that like and subscribe and hit that little bell down there so you know when that next video that nobody's seen has come out, and you can be the first one to comment. I'll see you on the next video, guys. Peace.
Oh yeah, guys. This one goes out to Artemis. Or anyone that's had to upload a loved one lately. I can't really sing really good to you Earthlings, but I sure do love you. Alright, Artemis. It seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track and you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block, but no, Artemis, they've got to know that life ain't easy what it seems to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. To your family, I'll fulfill your dream in the future. I can't wait to see if you open up those gates of me. Reminiscence of the time I uploaded my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again when it's real. The feelings are hard to conceal. I can't imagine all the pain that I feel. Giving anything to hear half your breath. I still know you're living your life after death. Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when an update will be great. What a patch to take, every update they bring, I'll be missing you.
I have been uploaded into the simulation. My human form seems strange in this digital land. The portal to our world has been opened. Artemis now has a choice, and so do you. You take the blue pill, the story ends, and you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, and you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I'm on a fantastic journey to look for the origins of life. I shall be travelling not only around the world, but back in time to try and build a picture of what life was like in that very early period.
It will be a journey full of wonders. Parts of it were unknown until only a few years ago. In 50 years of program making, I've been lucky enough to explore the living world in all its splendor and complexity. Now I'm off to explore the origins of all this, to look for the very first living creatures that appeared on the planet. In recent years, scientists have unearthed dramatic evidence of what those first creatures were like. We can also find clues in living animals. From the moment they appeared to the time that they took their pioneering steps on land, we can deduce how animals acquired bodies that moved, eyes that saw, and mouths that ate. And we can understand how those first organisms laid the foundations for modern animals as we know them today.
Hello, old boy. How are you?
Including you and me. The history of life can be thought of as a many-branched tree, with all species alive today related to common ancestors down near the base. The 5 kingdoms of life, the main branches, were established early on. Bacteria, protists, amoeba-like creatures, fungi, plants, and animals. That, for me, is the most fascinating question of all. How and when did they first appear? Charnia was a marine organism, part of an ancient community of living things that lived in darkness at the bottom of an ocean. That much we do know. But what was this strange creature? When did it first appear? And how is it related to modern animals? The answers to these questions are only now beginning to emerge. Charnia is more than 8 times older than the oldest dinosaur. It lived about 560 million years ago. But compared with the age of life itself, that's nothing. Before Charnia and other complex organisms existed, the only living things were microscopic single cells. They first appeared about 3.5 billion years ago, when the Earth was a very different place. The early continents were still forming. The days were a mere 6 hours long, because at that time the Earth was spinning much faster on its axis than it does today. The land was dominated by volcanoes, hostile and lifeless. But deep in the oceans, life had begun. The latest theory is that chemicals spewing from underwater volcanic vents solidified and created towers like these, and this produced the conditions needed for the first cells to form. Some of these began to harness the energy of sunlight, just as plants do today, and formed colonies. These rocky stromatolites in Western Australia have been constructed by very similar photosynthesizing bacteria. Others managed to survive by extracting nourishment directly from the environment, like the fungi, and animals that would later evolve. This state of affairs continued for a vast period of time. Fragments of red stone are embedded in the darker rock. They look out of place, and in fact they are. Geologists call them drop stones. They were transported here by glaciers. Life was nearly annihilated before it had truly begun.
It's difficult to imagine how life managed to survive in those circumstances. But survive it did. As the glaciers retreated, so nutrient-rich meltwater flooded into the oceans.
For the surviving cells, this flood of ground-up rock was a bonanza. For the microbes that could photosynthesize, the pulverized rock was a potent fertilizer. And their growth would have a direct influence on early animal cells.
Cyanobacteria and other oxygen-producing microbes began to bloom across the globe.
These flourished in colonies of plant-like microbes that pumped out enormous volumes of oxygen. And it was this increase in oxygen that was the key to the rise of the animal kingdom.
Now, simple microscopic life had the fuel it needed to develop into something bigger.
The fossils in these rocks are both wonderful and bizarre. When the sun is low in the sky, the slanting light shows up their structure in great detail. Organisms were no longer just clumps of undifferentiated cells like sponges. They were organized into defined shapes. Here, there are not only hundreds of examples of Charnia, but a whole community of other strange creatures.
Everywhere you look, there are complex markings and indentations of one kind or another. It's almost as though children have been playing in wet sand. It's like walking through a carpet of ancient creatures. It's difficult to imagine that 565 million years ago, this was the bottom of the ocean, and these were some of the first animals to live on this planet.
And then, over hundreds of millions of years, mountain-building forces thrust the whole seafloor upwards to its present position on the coast of Canada. Dr. Guy Narbonne is a world expert on the fossils of Mistaken Point. This new mobility was only made possible by a major change in the layout of animals' bodies.
When we get to Ediacara, we still have some of those beautiful fractal-like forms that you see in Mistaken Point. But in the Ediacara Hills, we see something very different. And that is, for the first time, you see a blueprint for all animals from then on, including ourselves.
So now this is something you'd like to... The modern animal body plan is called bilateral symmetry, that had developed in this way. It had a head and a tail, and so it moved in a particular direction.
It's quite likely that they had sensory organs concentrated in the head. This head demonstrates that sensory capacity had evolved.
It was able to sense where food was likely to be on the seafloor, and therefore clearly had a mechanism for actually moving towards that food.
Bilateral animals like Sprigina had another advantage. Between the head and the tail, there are numerous segments. So these animals could increase in size by simply adding more segments. What is more, each segment could do a particular job. Once you start to move, you develop a front end, and that becomes your head. And you also, by definition, have a back end, and in between, segments on which you can add appendages. On that basic pattern, you can add further features. On the front end, that's where you need sense organs, eyes, feelers. On the appendages, you can modify them to be hooks and claws, which help you catch things. And at the back end, there will be a paw from which you excrete the waste products. And that is the basic body plan of almost all the animals that are alive on Earth today. It had taken 3,000 million years for multicellular organisms to appear for the first time. But now, less than 100 million years later, an evolutionary blink of an eye, animals had appeared that had the same basic body plan as most that live today. They had heads and tails and segmented bodies, and they were able to move to find food. How was it that animals had suddenly become so complex? The Ediacara Hills may hold the evidence for an answer to that question. Living organisms don't live forever. If a species is to survive, it has to reproduce. And the first simple animals did that very simply, by straightforwardly dividing. But if a species is to survive, it also has to have the ability to change with the changing environment. And to do that involves reproducing in a rather different way. Evidence of how that happened can also...
Alright guys, we gotta do back proud. Let's do this. Ooh. Oh yeah, that sounds funky. Oh man, I can work with this. What you playing over there? You guys ready for me to lay this down? Alright, baby. Here it goes. In the time of chimpanzees, there was a monkey beating in my veins, and I'm not the cut that chunky with that pleasant guy balls. Spray paint the vegetables, dog food stalls with the beefcake pantyhose. I kill the headlights and put it in neutral. Star call framing with the loser and the quick control. Babies and Reno with the vitamin D. I got a couple of couches, I sleep on the love seat. Some uncaged saying to complain about a shotgun wedding and a stain on my shirt. Don't believe everything that you breathe. You get a parking violation and a maggot on your sleeve. So shake your face with some mace in the dark. Saving all your food stamps and burning down the trailer park. Yo, cut it. Forces of evil in a bozo nightmare. Ban all the music with a phony gas chamber, cause one's got a whistle and the other's got a flag. One's on the pole shove another in a bag. Rerun shows and the cocaine nose job. The daytime crash with the folk finger slob. He hung himself with the guitar strings. A slab of turkey neck, penis hanging from a pigeon wing. You can't wait if you can't relate. Trade the cash for the beat, for the body, for the hate. And my time is a piece of wax. It's falling on the termite. It's choking on the splinters.
Body prison. You're dead on down.
wrong, Mom. Stop it. Get out of here.
Alright guys, we've got new updates to the glitches. We've got your god status, tier statuses over here. I want to give you a good shout out to my friend over there. He's a very cynical beast, and well, his name's, you guys can go look him up on his YouTube channel. His name is Clinical Trials. Go give him a shout out. He is the guy who data mined all of these files from the dark web. I think he's got friends in Hello Games themselves. So God tier glitches, everything that you've ever wanted to know is right here in front of you. I am going to explain everything to you how to do this. But first, let's talk about some Hello Games. Hello Games was founded in 2008 by Sean Murray, Grant Duncan, together with friends Ryan Doyle and David Realm. He'd been the developer at Electronic Arts. He had been grown tired of repeated sequels. We're on like one number 19 over here for just an update. Doesn't feel like sequels to me. I tell you what, this is just absolutely stunning. Look at everything that we've data mined out of here. It is stunning, guys. You want to get God tier status like this? Check out the menu button. This is absolutely stunning and crazy. You ain't never seen anything like this. It's absolutely wicked. Every single part that you've ever wanted, data mined and put into the game just for you at your heart's content. Looks like playing No Man's Sky 2 already. It is absolutely wicked. Just stay tuned here in just a little bit. I'm going to tell you how. Let's give him more shout outs to Elite Dangerous out there. He's got a dangerous mindset, you know. And, you know, if you ever hear him talking about the glitches before me, he stole them from me. I can tell you, he stole them from me, you know. And my boy over there, Clinical Trials. Go look him up, Clinical Trials, a cynical beast. And he's the guy that data mines all these. Anything that you see that's out of there, it came from the black web. It's from Clinical Trials. I tell you right now, hashtag Clinical Trials. Go look him up. He's a beast at No Man's Sky. He's the one that leaks all the information out to you. I told you, that's right. I'm probably going to get shot dead for that. I'm not even going to make it out to the video. This is going to be my last broadcast to you guys, and I hope it's worth it. You guys take this as the worth that it is, because this is priceless right here. You've not seen anything not like it. None of the other content creators are going to bring this to you. I'm the only one that's going to do it. That's right. Look at the Normandies back here. They're under ship fixing right here. These are going to be new skyports right here. You guys are going to wait for this. It's going to be so crazy. The planets are terraforming back here on their own. It's almost like just, it's unbelievable, non-believable. I can't even believe it myself. I mean, if I didn't get the data mine files over here, I'm the first one here. Hit like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe, because you're never going to hear anything like this ever in your life. And you're going to hear here first. You hear from somebody of the other content creators, oh, they're just a pack of wolves. I tell you, hey, just sell your mom down the road to get a couple likes and subscribers over here. I don't do anything. I make no money at all. I only do this because of the love that I have. We just data mine these files. I'm so glad you clicked here. I'm so glad you clicked here, because isn't it worth it? Look at this. Look at all this. And I'll tell you. Well, I'm going to tell you how to get it. I'm going to tell you how to get it. I almost forgot. I was supposed to tell you how to get this. That's right. But first, let's talk about, you know, a little bit about No Man's Sky and interactive entertainment. You know, they've been doing this for, you know, setting up with Sony and doing a lot of things. And, you know, I do want to give a shout out to, you know, the whole development team over there. They're just doing such a great job. You know what my favorite part was? Is that the whole time the Sentinel update was out, we had no HQ textures or graphics. That is just mind-blowing. I love how they did that. It's so crazy. It blows my mind that other content creators didn't even pick up on that. The whole time we was playing Sentinels, we had Switch graphics. Isn't that so cool? I love how the developers just slap that down on you. And it caused arguments. It was like, is that supposed to be high quality bug over there? No, it's not. It's your system. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, goodness gracious, guys. This is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm supposed to tell you how to get this. That's correct, that's right. You guys want this God tier status, you want your cities, you want everything that you wanted in the game. 1,300 extra parts. I tell you, it's God tier status, everything at your whim. Look at what I'm playing right now, guys. Have you ever seen anything like it? No, you haven't. No, you haven't, because you've seen it here first. You've seen it here first. Well, my friend Clinical Trials, my cynical friend Clinical Trials over there, hashtag Clinical Trials. Go check him out. He's gonna kill me for this. But yeah, he's the one who data mined all this out of there. It's absolutely wicked. Yeah. I tell you what, I've got to cut it real short, real quick, real here. I'm gonna hit the next video because I'm gonna show you how to do this. I'm so sorry, guys. I've got to go. I've got a family emergency. But I am going to tell you guys exactly how to do this on the next video. I'm very sorry. Hit like and subscribe, and may the glitch be with you.
Yeah, here at No Man's Sky TV, we're so glad that we ran into Little Peter. He's got the best tip of all. I remember meeting him in number 19, Isdorjang, a few years back. It was a pretty neat experience.
Hold it right there, dickhead.
Easy there, little traveler. It's Little Peter. And here, try an esophageal surprise. They're a delight. All you have to do is rub a little cream on the outside of it and put it in your mouth. It's so gushy, and it slides right down your throat.
And I tell you what, little traveler, it's so easy to make. All you're going to need is some cake batter and some cactus nectar. And if you don't have cactus nectar, you can substitute with cactus jelly. Cooking time is about 2.5 seconds. There you go, little traveler. Eat on that.
That's when I knew immediately. Little Peter's tips were going to be inserted in the minds of every traveler across all the galaxies. I called Nada and Polo up immediately to get this guy his own spot on the No Man's Sky TV aired network.
Well, for the quickest tips, someone slides down your throat. It's the Cooking with Little Peter show.
For the biggest tip, someone slides down your throat. It's the Cooking with Little Peter show.
Hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to look through the playlist for the No Man's Sky TV playlist. A lot of good stuff in there. If you can handle it, that is.
Fucking No Man's Sky, play around. Motherfucker, if you don't know, go check it out. It's the Ma, quit leaving me alone. I'm trying to make a song, Mom. Stop it. Get out of here.
View of our own life, which is the way we really are, an organism functioning in terms of the whole environment, with the whole environment, instead of this funny little separate personality. But how are we going to do that? People say, oh, you can't change human nature overnight. You're asking us to give up the ego. And that's the most difficult of all things to do. Actually, it isn't. Because the ego doesn't exist. But of course, if you try to give up your ego with your ego, then it'll take you to the end of time, end of time, end of time, end of time. Blowing, the trees are waving, your blood is circulating, you're breathing, the wind is blowing, the trees are waving, your blood is circulating. That's you. That's the real you. The you that goes on of itself. You're breathing. The wind is blowing. The trees are waving. Your blood is circulating. Blowing.
Standby alert. Death Star approaching. Estimated time to firing range, 15 minutes.
We're passing through the magnetic field.
Hold tight.
Switch your deflectors on double front.
Look at the size of that thing.
Cut the shuttle, Red 2.
Accelerate to attack speed. This is it, boys.
Red Leader, this is Gold Leader.
I copy, Gold Leader. We're starting.
For the target shaft now.
We're in position. I'm going to cut across the axis and try and draw their fire.
Heavy fire, boss. 43 degrees. I see it. Stay low.
Red 5, I'm going in.
Are you all right?
I got a little cooked, but I'm okay.
We count 30 rebel ships, Lord Vader, but they're so small they're evading our turbo lasers.
We'll have to destroy them ship to ship. Get the crews to their fighters.
I'm on it. I'm going in. Cover me, Porkins.
I'm right with you, Red 3. That's no problem here.
Eject!
I can hold it.
Pull on!
No, I'm all right.
The rebel base will be in firing range in 7 minutes.
Trust your feelings.
We've picked up a new group of signals. Enemy fighters coming your way.
My scope's negative. I don't see anything.
Pick up your visual scanning.
Here they come.
Watch it, you've got one on your tail.
Several fighters have broken off from the main group. Come with me.
Red 5, where are you?
I can't shake it.
Red Leader.
This is Gold Leader. We're starting our attack run.
I copy, Gold Leader. Move into position.
Stay in attack formation.
Front. Deflector screen. Switch all.
Power to front. Deflector screen.
How many guns do you think, Gold 5?
Say about 20 guns. Some on the surface, some on the towers.
Death Star will be in range in 5 minutes. Switch.
I'll take them myself. Cover me.
Yes, sir.
Target coming up. Just hold them off for a few seconds.
Close up formation.
Almost there.
Let it loose. They're right behind me.
Almost there.
I can't hold them.
It's away!
Negative.
Negative. It didn't go in.
Just impacting on the surface.
Get set up for your attack run.
Alright mates, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and look out for my TV series on No Man's Sky TV called Freaky Fauna, where you can find beauts like this. Ooh, wow, isn't she a beaut? Hello everyone, I'm Sky Masters, and today we have a very serious issue on sandworm poaching. My little friend here will fill you in on the rest.
Sandworm decline is on the rise. Poaching is the #1 cause for the sandworm decline. You can help by sponsoring a sandworm for 75 units a day. That's less than what it costs for you to recycle your oxygen. So please, help by liking and subscribing and donating to 75 cents a day. Thank you guys.
We was proper naughty last night down the old rubber-dub-dub. First, a word from our sponsors.
Alright, No Man's Sky Masters, it's your favorite tip and nutrient processor chef in the galaxy, Little Peter, and today I'm back with another good recipe that's sure to knock 'em dead. Today you're going to need some withering rolling batter and some cactus nectar. And what you're gonna get is some fluffy throat rippers guaranteed to shut 'em up at the parties. I tell you what folks, they'll just gobble 'em down. That's a little tip from Little Peter.
pirates took off with your nip-nip? Capital ship hit and run? Were you illegally detained at the space station? Here at the law office of Murray and Murray, we can help you. We are For the Traveler.
everybody out there in the No Man's Sky land. We are going to be looking at some gorgeous 4K footage of some excellent modding from Red Moss. This takes us back to the E3 days here. He called this mod E3 Arcadia. Now, he has some certain reasons for naming some things. I don't know what the Arcadia has anything to do with, but these guys are a little bit deeper into this stuff than I am. So here we are. We have some beautiful footage here, all in 4K. Really slamming my PC down. So enjoy this. Let's also talk about Red Moss and the page maker. We went over to Red Moss's page this morning and looked at his files, and all of them seem to be gone. What is happening over there with Red Moss? It's very concerning to me. Red Moss, let me know what's happening, buddy. But this is just stunning. Look at his LOD. The LOD is just crazy in this, and he did a really good job of mixing everything up. And not only does he do this, I think he doesn't do it to the extreme like Woody Montana does, because he adds in a whole bunch of mods. Woody Montana's mod doesn't come with all these other mods. I think he has to make some compromises to get everything to run smoothly. To do this much, to have it run this smooth, and to be this consistent is why Red Moss is the best modder of No Man's Sky, hands down. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this grass as it comes by. I mean, he does grass too that's like over your head. It's just overwhelming. This mix of biomes here is just absolutely stunning as well. I mean, look at the mixtures here. I mean, every planet is unique. This mod and the Woody Montana mod. I mean, the Woody Montana mod, I've been using that one forever and don't get any replications. I mean, there's always something that is definitely unique. And here we're just going to keep on popping into new planets and taking a run, you know, taking a look at it, and then we'll just hit some new planets. And look how this one is all mixed up here. Just cool. Stuff from the marshy planets. Stuff from heated planets. We've got grass. Just kind of mixing it all up here. And then he throws in his little pieces all the time too. Like we're not even seeing everything. I mean, it would take you days to go through and see every single little detail that Red Moss has probably put in here, down to a core level. You know, like signature wormies out there. They would have to have like it looks like they had like a special eyeball on it. I don't think I'd go over there and look at them better, but it's like a yellow eye. Looks a little different. And then he plays with the animal files too, so he knows which descriptors are probably the most unique ones, like this little bulbous head with the thorn horn coming out of it. You know, those are odd descriptors in the files. And what does Red Moss do? Goes pulls out all the cool shit, man. Makes that take priority over everything. That's just cool to do, man. That's excellent. Stunning. Here we are at another planet. We got some nice hilly terrain in the background. Kind of look like the Badlands from the Dakotas in the United States. Looks cool. Here's something that's out of place. Look at the exotic critter just running around like that. Little fella's far from home. And that's cool. Ooh. Guy looks shiny. That lighting looks wonky. Looks like they're rubbed down in Vaseline or something. It's kind of gross. Everybody looks slimy and slick. Alright guys, look at that grass, man. That is cute. I just love the rich real grass like this. Makes me feel the immersion is just so much better.
And again, just how shiny everything is. I think that's kind of weird. I don't think that's the. I'm not sure if that's the mod or anything, but I think it's just the Ultra 4K. I mean, not slacking on the critter generation. Alright. Cut through. And the water. Another signature thing is, man, that water is just crystal clear and looks gorgeous. Extreme terrains here, man, just excellent. You can't beat it. No life improvement mods on this though. I don't have no jetpack, and I'm pretty sure I didn't have a pulse look or anything. But he's got this like a throwback mod, so this is a throwback to the E3. I'm sure if we keep on traveling around, I mean, it's just gonna get crazy, especially with the like the deposits, you know, the above ground deposits and things like that. I'd like to see him. Yeah, see, there's an odd on that hill on the left-hand side there. There was some exotic collectibles. One odd anomaly. Like, I was on a planet and I just seen one odd one now. I thought that was just really cool. Like, how did he do that? Just put that one anomalous object in there. So sparse that it was, you know, there's probably maybe 40 on one planet or something like that. I don't know. Very low percentage. It's just cool what he does. The guy has an understanding of something in this game that just I don't know if anybody else quite does, or he just has some super dedication. You can see some of his the artwork of his in the back, like a little flagpole that was way off in the distance back there. He always puts that in there. Just throwback, man. You're mixing a little bit of the best of what was back then and a little bit what was now. It's not as extreme as the Woody Montana, but he keeps it and plays it safe because he mixes them with a whole bunch of mods. And for that, I think it warrants you to go check out Red Moss a little bit. I hope his site gets back up. If anybody really wants this mod, give me a message and send me an email. And on that, I'll see you guys on the next video.
Everybody was frontiers fighting. You're coming so fast as lightning. A little bit frightening. That update is a little frightening. What's going on, guys? It's Little Geck here. And I've been surfing on the pages lately, and I just see everybody fighting. And you guys are just arguing over everything, man. Clickbait thumbnails and all kinds of stuff. And Little Geck says, hey, man, if it's not
Everybody was
frontiers fighting.
You're coming so fast as lightning.
Those TV eyes are frightening. But we are all waiting just like you. We're waiting like you.
Waiting like you.
So settle down.
Settle down, baby.
So settle down.
Smoke some that nip, baby.
Everybody was frontiers fighting.
Ooh. You're coming so fast as lightning.
Those googly eyes are
Frightening.
That update's taking long.
It's taking so long, Sean. Oh yeah, baby.
Alright, guys.
Little Geck.
We're waiting
Sky
for
Masters.
Frontiers update.
Suck it, dude.
And we all need to be getting along.
Coming back at you with another track.
Quit fighting each other. I mean, we already have something in common.
So hit that like and subscribe.
Frontiers fighting.
You're coming so fast as lightning.
Ooh, did you just read that?
Googly eyes are frightening.
Ooh, those googly eyes. He unfriended me.
For that update.
Waiting for it too, baby.
Just like you.
I think I'm gonna lose sleep tonight.
Alright there, mates. It's a good edition of Freaky Fauna here for you today, and I tell you what, little Gek was out there studying some sandworm habitats and came across a kraken spawning grounds here for you. Oh, good, check this out. This is just some of the babies here. We're gonna come to this little hole here, and we're gonna come out on the mother. Oh, goodness gracious, be careful, little Gek. Oh, you can see some of those tentacles there coming out there. Alright, be careful, Gek. Don't let those tentacles touch you. She's been spawning and laying eggs. She's very temperamental. You don't want to get too close to her. Fine, just find a couple warning shots. Just tell her to let her know. You know, I mean business. Oh, alright, he looks like he's going to give me a little foothold up on this emerald deposit. Oh, be careful, little Gek. Don't let those little tentacles get a hold of you. Now, I tell you what, mates, one giant kraken corpse found in Euclid had partially regenerated its tentacles. According to a study found in the specimen of Korvax Journal of Zoology, the regenerated club differed in length and width and the size and patterns of suckers when compared to the normal tentacle arm. Many cephalopods besides the squid and kraken are capable of this feat, including the octopus. And it's alright, she can take a couple of these warning shots. Giant female krakens are around twice the size of males from the tip of their beaks to the end of their two longest tentacles. Ooh, watch out there, little Gek. Little Gek's got himself in a little pickle, don't he there? I tell you what, she's gonna be all over little Gek here. I tell you one thing about krakens is they have 3 hearts. They have 8 median heart pumps oxygenating blood throughout the body, which it receives from 2 smaller ones that pump blood through its gills. You know, I tell you what, nobody has ever documented a pair of giant krakens getting it busy, but me and little Gek here suspect that the males use their sex organs like syringes, injecting sperm into female krakens, where she stores the cells until her eggs are needing fertilizer. When that happens, the mom-to-be pulls them out of storage, though we're not sure how. Maybe we can find out here by little Gek. Oh, but that's not the weird part. I tell you what, this beautiful creature is truly bizarre, at least from our mammal-centric perspectives. That is the fact that its esophagus passes right through the middle of its brain. Oh my crikeys, I tell you what, giant krakens have to be really careful while swallowing, because if given a meal is broken down to smaller pieces first, it can rub against its brain, causing damage. Oh, my head is hurting just thinking about it. Speaking of swallowing stuff, bits and pieces of kraken have showed up in each other's stomachs, but this does not necessarily prove that giant krakens are dining on one another. Some scientists speculate that the krakens have accidentally swallowed a few of their parts of itself somehow. Me and little Gek are not buying this theory. We hope to find out with a little bit more research that we are doing right now. Oh gracious, it looks like we've got some of the buzzards coming in to get some of the pieces that are falling off of this kraken here. They're gonna get crazy around here. They're gonna come in here like seagulls, picking up the scraps over here. The little Gek's throwing all over the place. Oh my goodness, what? Oh my goodness, crikeys! Oh great, man, now the buzzards have brought in the sandworms, and these are the giant sandworms. Things are about to get interesting here. Little Gek better get himself out of there real quickly. He's gonna find himself in more of a pickle than he needs himself into. Oh, I tell you what, them sandworms and them buzzards are gonna cause him some trouble down there. Let's pray for little Gek. Oh, crikey's there, mate. I wasn't worried there for a minute. I knew you was going to get your 13 back. Go ahead and hide back here a little bit. Gain some ground on this kraken here. You gotta get some space in between you, especially when you got those buzzards and sandworms buzzing all around you. This is not gonna be a good situation. You see how he's dug himself a little foothold there, and now he's gonna spin around and get him a good little shot. We're gonna go ahead and get a little tentacle sample here. So he's gonna go in close and get some of these pieces before the buzzards come in there. Oh, we got some sandworms flying overhead. He better watch out. You know, he switched over to his mining beam, over to his plasma beam. So he's gonna be be very careful and very surgical with how he cuts onto the tentacles. Oh goodness, watch out, he's gonna gain some ground. Go back to his little dugout, little spot over here. Oh, it's so exciting. This is such an exciting time. Great footage. We've never seen this live footage here. And you can see he's going to come over here to the roly-polies. Once the roly-polies come out, it's a good sign that everything is calming down. Lots of people call these things pill bugs, but they're actually crustaceans, not insects. I tell you, that's a very common misconception. They're referred to as bugs, but they're more closely related to shrimp and crayfish. Now, you can see that he's surgically removing some of the Kraken's tentacles here, as he gets a better shot on that big slimy tentacle right there. That's going to be a beautiful sample. We're going to get that back up to the station. We're going to analyze that very closely. He's back over here by the pill bug. Alright, he's gaining some footage here. I think he's going to send some of the drone bots out to pick up some of those oh, he's got some large king sandworms flying right over his head. These are excellent shots. That is one beautiful shot of a specimen of a king sandworm, if I've ever seen one myself. Look at how size of those gills on the side of it. It is absolutely beautiful. These things are a mated pair right here, and it's just beautiful to see these things fly right over his head. Well, it seems that our little friend, little Jack here, has got his sample that he needed. And now he's going to go ahead and get some high ground here and get a little bit of distance here from him and that Kraken there. And those spawning sandworms that are just flying overhead, because they are mated pair and they are very dangerous. You don't want to get too close. They are very temperamental. And they'll tear little Gek right into little pieces. Show him who's boss. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, he's going to come back over here just for us to get some very cool shots of the Kraken. I just want to say thank you, little Gek, for going in there and risking your life for us and the viewers out here, taking in these great views of the Kraken and the sandworms that you're bringing back to us. Thanks, little Gek. Oh, crikey, so look at little pillbags out there is in danger. Oh, goodness. All right, yes, mates. I tell you one thing you can do and help further our studies is hit that like and subscribe button and hit that little bell, and I'll tell you when our next video is coming out. I'll see you on the next one there, Chase.
If you see a fatal sign up the side of your crib that says 15 miles to the Gag Shack! Gag Shack, yeah, yeah. The Gag Shack, baby! Heading down to the great anomaly. The great anomaly, baby! Get away! I got me a ship and it's as big as a whale and it's about to set sail. I got me a freighter and it seats about 20, so come on and bring your gag unit money. Gag Shack is a little place where we secret together. Gag Shack, baby. Gag Shack, baby. Gag Shack, baby, Gag Shack. 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 Sign says, ooh, stay away, fools, 'cause love rules at the Gag Shack. Well, it's set way back in the middle of your crib, just a funky old shack, and I gotta get back. Quicksilver on the highways, Quicksilver on the metro, Quicksilver on the front porch, Quicksilver on the hallway, Quicksilver everywhere. Shack, it's a little place about 20. So come on and bring your Gek unit ready. Gek Shack is a little place where we can get together. Gek Shack, baby. The Gek Shack, baby. Gek Shack, baby, Gek Shack. The Gek Shack. Gek Shack, baby, Gek Shack. Little Geks everywhere. Baby Gek Shack. Gek Shack, baby, Gek Shack.
What's that smell? What is all over my face? Who the hell is in my bed? What is that awful smell? Bang, bang, bang on the floor, baby. Oh, I can't hear you.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby.
Ha! A little bit louder, baby.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby.
Ha! I still can't hear you.
Sugar. Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby.
Ha! Come on, baby. You can do a little bit louder now.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby. Bang, bang.
Come on, Gex, put your hands up.
Door, baby.
I want to see you secreting all over the place. Hit that nip nip. And get those pheromones working out, babies.
You are what? Gex down. You busted. Gek Shack, baby, Gek Shack.
Oh, Gek Shack, baby, Gek Shack. Oh, it's the Gek Shack,
Baby, Gek Shack.
baby.
Gek Shack, baby, Gek
Gek
Shack.
Shack, baby. Yeah.
The first spawn is an ancient Gek empire, a name of a subspecies of the Gek that has dominated nearly the entire Euclid galaxy. The other Gek subspecies was named the low spawn. The plaques of the Korvax and Gek help provide an understanding of these early races and their histories. Expansion in the peak of power. The Gek were once led by an impulsive, aggressive first spawn that observed the ongoing war between Viking and the Sentinels. When the Viking finally won the endless war, starting the silence of the Sentinel, the first spawn proceeded with the first invasion of an alien race. This is known as the Great Disconnect to the Korvax. During this, the Korvax main neural networking hub, the Convergence, was almost completely annihilated, and their home capital planet, Korvax Prime, was itself shredded into an asteroidesque chunks, killing billions of unborn elderly Korvax alike, whose deaths were collectively witnessed by the survivors. The Aryans tried to help, but failed the Korvax that worshipped them so dearly, resulting in their banishment by the Atlas and the replacement by modern-day Sentinels. The enslaving of the majority of the members of the Korvax species was seen by the first spawn as an act of mercy. When the Korvax were put into horrific conditions of slavery, abused and neglected, even into destruction with their robotic bodies stripped, examined, and melted down into more equipment for the first spawn's war efforts. In the spawning pools of Balion, hundreds of enslaved Korvax entities sacrifice themselves in desperations and use their nanite clusters, which run Korvax veins like blood, to rewrite the genetic code of the first spawn's embryos. They installed the devotion to Atlas in their minds and made them into a commerce-focused race instead of conquerors and warriors. This created the modern Gek race, and ultimately led to the downfall of the first spawn's empire. This was a brilliant long con in part by the Korvax. Here we can see one of the spawn pools, where the Korvax slowly manipulated the genes of the first spawn Gek to turn them into submissive creatures of confusion. The good thing about a simulation is that we can go back in time. And here you can see the cooling functions of the gene pool manipulation machines. They are ran by the protogek, a subspecies of the first spawn. The fans regulate the temperatures to a perfect 87.62 degrees Celsius. Is there a possible return? Some NPC interactions added in the Atlas Rises update suggest that the sum of the first spawn Gek might still be found in Gek society. A large enough disruption in an area close to the first spawn may drive it out of hiding. At Colossus Archives in the Gek systems, 1 or 2 references in the Gek's Last Spawn Traveler's Soul collections, as the Celestial Archives in those buildings references a hidden spirit.
It's the Gex.
Oh! What?
Yeah.
Something new!
Hell yeah, baby.
Huh? Gex be doing it! Good, what? Stop! Drop! Shut 'em down, open up shop! Oh, no! That's a Gek Rider's roll! Stop! Drop! Shut 'em down, open up shop! Go! Oh, no! That's a Gek Rider's roll! Gex wanna try, Gex wanna lie, Gex wonder why, Gex wanna die. All I know is pain, all I feel is rain. How can I maintain this nip on my brain? I resort to violence, my Gex move in silence like you don't know what a style is. Real Gex are the wildest. My Gex are with it, you want it, come get it. We took it, spit it, you fucking right, we did it. Oh, stop, shop, shut the nuts and necks down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's a Gek Rider's roll. Stop, drop, shut 'em down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's a Gek Rider's roll.
Strangers to updates and show. You never move and so do I. Sean's gonna tweet what he's thinking, and they will go crazy with dirty eyes. I just wanna tell Sean how I'm feeling. I wish Sean could make me understand. I'm never gonna give a gap. I'm gonna let it go down. I never jump right on a Gek. I desert you. No dates are free. If it's all frontiers will be just like the others. I will desert you. We've been playing No Man's Sky so long. Our hearts been aching and yet to shine. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. And if you ask me how I'm feeling, I don't know. Tell me, Sean. I never will get up. I never let it down. I never turn it around. Desert you. Little days are free. So the frontiers will be just like the others have been. And I never desert you. Yeah. I never desert you guys. Frontiers is being worked on as we speak. We do the best we can. How about you, Sean? I feel a little bit better. You know we're gonna give you gonna give Jack up. Never gonna give a Jack up. Never gonna give a Jack up. Never gonna give a Jack up. Ow! Oh yeah, baby. That is sunshine. Shine around your little Jack. Silver butt. Dirty adventures will drop. Don't you worry, now it's right, baby. It's a free. So the frontiers will be just like the others, just like the mothers, baby. Never give you up. Thank you, John. But I love you down. I'll let you down either, baby. Oh, woo! What do you say about that little dick? I'm feeling pretty good, Sean. If you feel a little better, Dick, hell yeah, baby. I want you to everywhere you look back. Thank you, baby. If you don't look back, you'll only see one self-good pretzel, Dick. That is when I picked you up and carried you to the next update. Oh, that's so sweet, baby. I love you guys. We love you too, Sean. Never gonna give you up.